It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission to provide you, that's right, you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute, well, that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Saniyah. She's here, and she'll be talking about that girl who, I know, let's find out what that's about. What's going on, Saniyah? How you doing?
Hi, I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to be on here today.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to viewers for tuning in. By the way, we don't take it lightly when you allow us to stream. Maybe you're watching right now on your cell phone. Maybe you're on your laptop. Maybe we're in your ears right now. You're listening to the podcast at the gym or cooking. Thanks for having us here. This will be a good use of your time. Before we get started, it's got to be a question because you're an author. You've written this great book, and everyone done. Although you're famous, some people might not know who you are. But my first question before we get into your background is really, why do people struggle with getting a book out of them completed? Now, I'm raising my hand, ladies and gentlemen. May I should put two hands up because I've talked about writing a book. I've watched YouTube videos on writing a book. I've even got AI that's supposed to write the book. And guess what I ain't done? I ain't written the book. Shh. Right. So my question is, why do people struggle so much with writing their book and telling their story?
Yes, so I would say it's a number of things. I would say people are afraid to write their book because they get in their own head. They thinking like, oh, would they really like it? Is it really worth writing? Is it published material? Do I need to just hold on to it? And so my thing is with it, just start it. Like the point is to go ahead and start writing the book. Go ahead and get your thoughts together. Do some research if you need to. Don't be stagnant. Don't worry about what the people may think or, how they may feel about your book. Even if it's your testimony, don't be afraid to share your testimony. Whatever you want to write about, go forth and do it. But don't do any overthinking. Don't think nobody will like your book. Just do it.
And you talked about just doing it. Um, Take a moment for the person that's out there and they're leaning forward saying, Shay, she said just do it. But honestly, I want her to understand that everybody has my story. I mean, I don't know how I'm any different than anyone else because I'm not the only one that's had a divorce. I'm not the only one that's tried to have a relationship. I'm not the only one that had a tough childhood. I'm not the only one that struggled with something. I'm being serious. Now, again, I'm speaking for myself, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So, shh, we're in this together. It's not counseling, but aren't you curious for the person that's saying, how's my story any different than anybody else's? What would you say to that person? Like,
Yes, I
yeah.
will say that it's about your authenticity. Even though you may share the same story as somebody else, but your outcome could have been different. Some pieces of your story may be totally different from others. So I would say literally just pray about it. And if God give you a yes to go ahead and write that book, put the shame, put the guilt behind you, put the negative thoughts behind you, and just literally get you a piece of paper and start writing on it and start writing, journaling your thoughts and figuring out, okay, what it is that I want to write about. Send a prayer up to God. And again, if he say yes, then go ahead and go forth for it. And if you need any mechanisms or tools or coping tools to get through that process, hey, even if you need to reach out to a therapist and maybe they need to talk you through it. Or like I always say, if you want to seek wise counsel, as it says in the Bible, then go to somebody that you really trust and that's near and dear to your heart and ask them, hey, what do I need to do so I can go ahead and get rid of this anxiety or get rid of the negative thoughts that I'm having in my mind so I can go ahead and publish this book.
How were you able to have this kind of mindset? Because it didn't sound like you had a plan all written up and it was perfect when it got started. Take a moment, if you would. Well, before we do that, let's just do this, ladies, because I know y'all are curious. Some of you have already Googled her. I get it. Some of you have already read her bio. I get it. And others are like, Shay, just get to it. We want to know. Okay, so let's slow down. And then we get into that girl who, because that girl who is not her. It's actually a book. I know. I can't wait to tell you that. But here's the question. Who are you? They're curious. What's the backstory of who you are that led you to really writing books and helping other people write books?
Yes, so my name is Saniyah Baker-Boatwright, and my name meaning is actually beautiful and exalted by God. And so, just to tell you guys a run back, it started all in fifth grade. Once I got into fifth grade and I ran into my teacher, Miss Faith Lucy, she was my English teacher in fifth grade. And so we was doing different little writing prompts, and she, was telling me like, "Girl, you have improved so much." I was turning in 4+ papers, and that was the 4+ and above. It was a great number to get on the scoring board. And she told my mama one day, she was like, "Child, you got a little author on your hands." And I did not believe it. I'm like, "An author? I am not doing that. Like, I want to do something else." But glory be to God, come 2019, I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm about to do. And so I'm an author, but I also wear many other hats as well.
So you're author, you wear other hats. Um, Take a moment if you can, and I'm going to speak for my audience because they're like, Shay, let her know a few things. I'm curious, how is she able to juggle things? Because okay, a lot of the audience are dualpreneurs. They work a full-time job and they're full-time entrepreneurs. So they want you to know that, by the way. Some of them are married. Some of them are in relationships. Some of them have kids, and their kids have a schedule, by the way. So they're busy. Others are caregivers. They're taking care of their parents or loved ones. There's someone out there saying, let them know, Shay, I'm involved in my church. I'm involved in my community. I got a lot going on. So what would you say to someone like me that has all this going on? How does she prioritize things so they have time to write a book and get something that's inside them, outside them? What's one or two things you'd recommend to that person?
What I would recommend is getting rid of distractions. A lot of time we on this busy day-to-day life, and we got this to do, we got the that to do. Like all the things you name, I pretty much do besides kids. I don't have any kids, but my brother and sister might as well be my kids. And I also have a church home. And so I'm, at the church functions, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But this is what I do. I have a planner that I keep a hold to. And a good friend of mine was like, "Girl, get you a planner." And I got me a planner, and I pretty much just carve out my day, and I do it weekly. But for you, you may be different. Maybe you know what your schedule was looking like month to month. So I would say to each his own on that part of like filling out your planner. So I fill out my planner and I stick to that time. Okay, from this time to that time, I'll do this. But then from this time to that time, I'm gonna be with family, or I'm gonna be with friends, or I'm gonna be at this church function. So I would just say you literally have to guard your time and stick to it. Hey, sometimes, as I learned just as a reason recently, I was never a person to where I would put my phone on do not disturb. But sometimes you literally just have to do that. Put your phone on do not disturb, exclude the outside world, and just get focused and just get to work at whatever it is that you're doing, or even if it's just a relaxation time, because rest is important.
I love the relaxation time. That's at least something for them to be able to do, by the way. Before we get into like 3 steps that someone could do to get their book written, and then we'll follow up with 3 steps they maybe can do. And it might be more, but maybe you can summarize 3 steps that they could do to really get noticed or market their book. They're all sitting on the edge saying, that girl who? Woo, Shay, what's this book about? Why was it written? So take a moment if you can and share with us who's the book for and why was it written, and a little bit about who is that girl?
Yes, so that girl who was published in 2019, and it's for young adults to let them know that they can overcome anything. It don't matter what it is. And so that girl who it is mainly about a young girl named Diana who is going on a journey of weathering some storms, from homelessness to trying to find out her sexual identity. And so she's weathering those storms, but she learned how to be unapologetically her, how she see fits.
Mm. And for those folks that are curious, what prompted you to write that book? I mean, were you just sitting around one day, or is it based on a true story? We're just curious. And then
Yeah.
of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about how you can get the book and how you can get it found and all that.
So it is based on a true story. So some of the triumphs that I had gone through in life, I was like, let me go ahead and put that in the book, because I just I really wanted people to, I wanted to be an example of letting young adults know that it's okay to share your testimony. You know, even if you don't put everything all in a book, but at least be able to, you know, if you feel comfortable sharing bits and pieces of your testimony, why not go ahead and share it? So I was just really led literally from God to just go ahead and write the book. And I definitely understand now why that was because he wanted me to also see that I'm an overcomer too. And so now I'm able to share with young adults like, whatever you're going through, you can get through it too because I overcame so much and you can too.
And how do you have the right mindset so folks don't judge you or, because I'm talking to someone not too long ago and they're like, well, I would write to say, but people going to start judging me. And I'm not a writer. I'm not an author. That's not my jam. And I'm thinking, yeah, I guess that's a good reason. But so someone be saying, yeah, do people judge you when you write something, even if it's a different character? I mean, how do you deal with that mentally?
Yes, I was, to be honest, prayer. Like my faith in God has, I have become delusional in God because I believe that He can make all things possible, right? And so with me, I pretty much just pray about it. I'm so sorry about that. But
That's
to
fine.
me, I just pray about it and I pretty much just literally ask God to get rid of any shame or guilt that I had, you know, in what was going on at that time. Because when I wrote that book, I wasn't healed actually. And I know a lot of times people say, you know, why do something and you're not healed? But again, I feel like God got the glory out of that because He had me to, He had to show me like, hey, you might have wrote this book and you might have felt this way at this time, but I'm going to get the glory out of that and I'm going to use you so you can be able to see that your testimony can help other people. That's why I live solely by that scripture, Revelations 12:11. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb in the word of in the word of our testimonies.
Very, very powerful. I'm so glad you wrote the book. It's going to help a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of boys, and a lot of girls, and a lot of folks that get a chance to read it. If you had to share, 3 ideas for someone that says, okay, where would she start if she was me to just start writing the book? What are maybe 3 things you would share with that person?
Yes, I would say one, start off with an outline. I feel like a lot of people, you know, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, some people they may get the gist of like not understanding exactly what they want to write about. So in order to go along the process and just being everywhere with it, go ahead and do an outline. So outline is one. The second thing I would say is figure out where you want to have your book at. Do you want to do it self-publishing or do you want to go the traditional publishing route? So figure out, you know, what way you want to do that. And then thirdly, I would say is figure out your marketing plan. Figure out your marketing plan so that way you can know exactly who your target audience is and where your books need to be at. Because I mean, you know, some certain books you just don't need to be everywhere. So you just really want to figure out, you know, who your target audience is so you can make sure that it's getting into the right hands.
You said whether you want to publish or self-publish. To some, that's language they may not be familiar with. Take a moment and talk about, it may seem obvious to others, but some of you might be like, okay, I just want her view of the world, Shay. What does self-publishing look like for her? And why is that so important? And then why is getting it published by, I guess, a publishing firm? Yeah. So I guess the question is, what's the difference between publishing and self-publishing? Just break it down if you don't mind for us. I know it's probably only
No,
Shay Brown, but help us out.
no problem. But so self-publishing is when you actually do majority of the work. You do everything pretty much yourself. You know, you're writing the book. Or I mean, even if you did get ghostwriting, you're still, you know, having to have that book because it is, you know what I'm saying, yours. And so excuse me, I'm sorry. Traditional publishing is where you will actually go and seek what company you want to work with that is actually a legit publishing company, and they handle the, you know, where the market at or where your target audience at and all of those things to, you know, that nature. But I chose to go the self-publishing route because I wanted to be more hands-on. And so when it comes to choosing self-publishing and traditional publishing, I say do your research on it so you can know which route is better for you.
Man, you're just a wealth of knowledge. You're sharing openly and freely. Curious now, if someone wanted to work with a publishing company, a self-publishing company, let's say like yourself. what are maybe two or three things they should look for, questions they should ask? Because, it sounds like they go online and there's a long list of folks who say, I'm raising my hand to be your self-publisher. Take a moment if you can. And it might be unfair, but I think it's a reasonable question. Like, okay, if you were Shay Brown and you was going to be interviewing a company and they're going to self-publish you, what are maybe three things you would look for or ask just so you can, I don't know, be knowledgeable before you make a selection?
Right. I would say, honestly, I would say figure out what it is that they are offering you. You know, certain publishing companies, maybe they only allow you to do so much. And so figure out what it is that they are offering you exactly. Like some company may have different packages that you can choose from. So really carefully look at those packages and see, okay, what it is that I'm getting, what it is that I am getting myself into. And then I also would say ask them like some questions to where you will actually get to know them. You know, see exactly what does this company stand for. You know, everybody have a mission and some people missions, I mean, let's just keep it real, it's not good. So really figure it out what it is that that company stands on, and especially if you're a person of faith, or you hold a particular religious account. And then third, I would ask them how do they feel about the editing process, because not all publishing companies are willing to edit your book for a hundredth of time. So you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. I think that's the main thing. What are you, detailing in that? Are you getting any help with marketing? Yeah, the list can go on and on.
Now it's a great list and it's right on time. And as you're listening, people are saying, "Whoa, she got everything going on." We're gonna find out in a minute, ladies and gentlemen, if she's ever had any setbacks. Is we have a segment here called "Today is my January 1st." Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you wait for this moment. You can't wait to say those magical words. It doesn't matter what day it is. You can go ahead and say it. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for all the new folks, you're tuning in for the very first time. You want to know what in the LL Cool J is Che Brown doing over there right now? Okay, I get it. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past has been or how bright and sunny that past has been, the past no longer equals the future. And so the question we have for Saniyah on the other side is really twofold. Number one, when you just hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind? We're curious. And number two, did you ever have a setback? Maybe her life's been perfect. She writes books, she gets on, she just was there ever a setback in your life? And if so, how did you bounce back from it?
Gotcha. So when I hear of January 1st, the first thing that come to mind for me is new. A lot of people, when it comes January 1st, they starting a diet, they just doing new things. But to me, I feel like January 1st is an everyday thing, or at least it should be, because my word for the year was new. And it was a lot of newness for me, especially with the walk that I am going on with God and figuring out more gifts that I have. So that's what January 1st, what I think of it. And then also to talk about the setbacks, yes, I remember. Whew, okay, so 2019, 2019 is when I feel like I had a major setback because I had lost my job in 2019. And when I lost my job, I knew it wasn't something that was of my fault. So the company that had came in to that place of business or whatever, the manager was like, a lot of people is going to get fired. We're going to make you get fired, or we're going to make you want to quit. And so, Lord behold, I ended up getting fired for whatever. And then so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do, God? Like, what is my purpose? I can't just be clocking in out of a 9 to 5. And this, again, to each his own, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I still have a 9 to 5 to this day. But I was just like, I do not want to keep doing this for the rest of my life. Or, like I said, what is my purpose? And so that setback of not having a job is really what led me into writing my very first book, That Girl Who. And so I was literally just sitting in bed. I was like, Lord, what should I do? And then Lord and behold, it's like with certain things God has placed in my life, it's like he gives me the desire to do it. And so I was like, okay, God. And I remember just sitting in my bed writing and writing and writing, and my mama and brother and sister, they would come into my room like, you done yet? You done yet? And I remember whining and complaining a little bit because at that time, again, I didn't have no job and I was putting in job applications. And I'm like, Lord, when is I'm going to get a call back? I would even, call back after 3 days of seeing that the status was complete. And I'm like, I'm not hearing anything back. And so, Lord and behold, he dropped that in my ear. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and write this book. And so that's how That Girl Who was birthed.
Wow. And in doing that, that's what got you going. That's amazing. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? Because you seem to be having fun doing it.
Oh yes, I am having a lot of fun because what's going on right now is the rebranding of my business, actually, of being an author. So I just recently changed the logo. The colors had to go. They was it was too serious. It was like, okay, we gotta lighten these colors up. And so that's what I'm doing now. And then also I mean, who doesn't love a good photo shoot, right? And so I had a photo I had a photo shoot not too long ago, and that was so much fun. I had two outfits that I switched out of. Yeah, we had a great time. And then also, what I'm working on right now is my third book, actually, and I cannot wait for that to come out. And so that has been extremely fun because this new book here is different. It's different. I don't want to give too much away because the rollout will be coming out soon, but it's just different. And then not only that, this being my third book is literally about God. It's literally about seeking his face, being at the foot of Jesus, growing that intimate relationship with him and just really understanding God's glory, not about what he does, but who he is.
I love it, by the way. That's a prompt, ladies and gentlemen. I have to have her back to talk about that third book, okay? We want to get deep. Y'all got to get the book. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world? When you're not out writing books? When you're not out doing photo shoots? When you're not out starting new companies and rebranding? What do you do for fun these days?
Yes, what I do for fun is just really chill and relax with my family and my friends. And also to add to that, I mean, who doesn't love to eat? I am a foodie, and so I love to eat. So that's my enjoyment. I can eat anything, seafood, Chinese food, Mexican food, you name it, I love it. So I spend a lot of my time eating and hanging out with friends and family.
That sounds like a lot of fun. For those folks that want to connect with you, to come down the home stretch, number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have right now?
Yeah, so you guys can stay in contact with me by following me on all my social media platforms. Excuse me, that's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can follow me at author Saniyah. That's AuthorSaniyaH. And then what was that other question?
What type? You already said it. What type of clients are you looking to work with these days? And the second
Oh,
question was, how can
yes.
they best connect with you? Which I think you're saying now, right? Just give it to them one more time so they're very clear.
Okay, no problem. So, how you can connect with me is by visiting me on all of my social media platforms. That is author Saniyah, AuthorSaniyaH. And then you can also visit my website as well. That's www.sbbtheboat.com. And boat is spelled BAOAT.com. And the target audience that we are looking for as far as the publishing company that me and my partner have, my friend, we are looking for those that who, hey, you may have a passion project and you're not really serious about writing books. We welcome those, and we also welcome those that are actually serious about getting out there and getting their book out there as well. And so that is what we do. And also, just like with the publishing company that me and my partner have, we also are focused on people that need some type of healing to get their book done. And so, because we love praying with our praying over our clients and keeping our clients covered. And so, a lot of audience, our target audience is women, but we accept men as well.
A few good men. All right. Well, let me say two things. Let me say thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Shout out to Josias, who connected us together. A great connector. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Asaya. Thank you too.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show, by the way. So we're blessed to be on your tablet, on your smart device, on your phone, on your computer. Maybe we're on your TV screen right now, and that's kind of cool. Thanks for having us in. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you're special. No hyperbole there. You're unique. You're a gift that's here to help bless someone else. And no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing very well and you're going to that next level, or life's hit you with the punch you never saw coming, the one thing I know for sure is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, it hasn't changed. It's still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. Wishes us peace. So Lost and I, we out of here. Bye-bye.